Hi everyone, we're going to find the maximum and minimum values for f of x equals square root of 6 minus x squared times e to the power of x. Alright, we're going to find some endpoints here. We've got to check our domain for this. So as usual with square root functions, we're going to have the inner portion of this be greater than or equal to 0. So we're going to write 6 minus x squared has to be greater than or equal to 0. To make this a little easier, I'd like to just multiply this through by negative. So that would be x squared minus 6 is less than or equal to 0. Now to factor this, we want to set this to 0 so we can solve for x. So this would be x minus square root of 6 times x plus square root of 6. So basically, that means our x is going to have to be, no matter what the e to the power of x is, our x has to be in between negative square root of 6 and square root of 6. That gives you your boundaries for your domain. Now let's go ahead and integrate this. And I'll erase this so we can see. Again, you can write this as 6 minus x squared to the power of 1/2. So using our product rule, we're going to get f prime of x equals, and we're going to differentiate our first term. So that's going to be 1/2 times 6 minus x squared to the power of negative 1/2 times the derivative of the inner function, which is negative 2x, and multiplied by e to the power of x. Plus, then we're just going to copy down 6 minus x squared times the derivative of e to the x power. Alright, and usually we always have to simplify this. This whole thing is going to go in your denominator, and this is going to go in your numerator. So negative 2x times e to the power of x divided by 2 square root of 6 minus x squared. Now the 2's will cancel here, so let's get rid of that. And then we still have square root of 6 minus x squared times e to the power of x. Okay, from there, let's see. Let's go ahead and factor out e to the power of x, because they both have it in there. So that's going to give you equal e to the power of x. This is going to be negative x divided by square root 6 minus x squared plus square root of 6 minus x squared. Now, what I want to do is get the common denominator for this. So it's going to make it easier to solve for x. So let's see. If we get the common denominator, I'm going to multiply this or divide by 6 minus x squared, and then I also have to multiply the numerator by square root of 6 minus x squared. And this is going to give you your common denominator here. When you multiply these two, the square root signs will leave. So that's going to give you f prime of x equals, let's see, where am I? E to the power of x, and then we're going to have negative x plus 6 minus x squared, all divided by square root of 6 minus x squared. Now, it looks like I can factor this. I'm going to pull out a negative and rewrite this. I'm going to rewrite this as negative e to the power of x, and then I'll have x squared plus x minus 6 divided by square root of 6 minus x squared. Now I think we can set this to 0. Oh, we got to factor that. All right. So now we're going to get f prime of x equals negative e to the power of x, and I'm just going to factor the numerators. So that's going to be x minus or x plus 3 x minus 2 divided by square root of 6 minus x squared. Finally, all right, now we can set this f prime of x equals 0. So I'll just put it here. You can divide both sides by this e to the power of x. So that part will go away. And then when you cross multiply, what we're doing is just looking at the numerator. So that means when f prime of x equals 0, our x is going to equal negative 3 or x equals 2. But recall that our domain is x is in between negative square root of 6 and square root of 6. So this x equals negative 3 doesn't fall in our domain. So we have to disregard this as an extraneous solution. So we're only looking at x equals 2. And x equals negative square root of 6 and square root of 6. So basically what we're going to do, let me see if I can squeeze it in here. We're going to look at f of 2. At f of 2, that's going to give you square root of 6 minus 4 e squared. That's going to give you square root of 2 times e squared. Now, at our endpoints here, negative square root of 6, that's going to give you 0, because once you substitute in that here, this is going to equal 0 here. So that just equals 0. And also, when you substitute in square root of 6, you're also going to get 0. So your smallest number is here. That's going to be your minimum value. This is your larger number. So what you would write is that your max value is square root of 2e squared, and that is at x equals 2, and you have two minimum values. Well, you have one minimum value, and that is 0, but it occurs at x equals negative square root of 6 and x equals square root of 6. And this is how you would write your answer, something to this effect. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.